win it back for the Falcons. Nice Abdullah. Just Tambakti. Bottom Harbour on the left-hand side. Forward by Tambakti. Widely regarded as the finest domestic player in Saudi Arabia, Hassan Tambakti, drawn interest from clubs in the top flights of France and Portugal, but stays in Riyadh for the moment. Al-Juwaya, Al-Shamat on the right-hand side, early ball into the penalty area. Always flicked away by Mamadou Ugarte, and he'll try and latch onto the loose ball. Picked up by Al-Khaibari though. Al-Shamat, central position, 35 yards from goal. Pokes it up to this right flank for Musa Al-Juwaya. Saud Abdul Hamid, French Cup winner of the season with Lens, qualified for the Champions League as well. Decided to finish second, just 6 points behind PSG in Ligue 1. Search for a new manager, Bielsa, the man who took them to that cup glory for the first time in over 50 years and steered them to that runners-up position in Ligue 1. As announced earlier today as the new manager of Crystal Palace, replacing the departing Oliver Glasner. He has hesitation about surging forward. Representatives in the Uruguayan national side from their domestic league. It's one of the reasons that Bielsa has been under a bit of pressure from Uruguayan media, Uruguayan fans. It's the exact opposite is true of the Saudi side. It is only Saud Abdul Hamid who plays outside of Saudi Arabia. Tambakti, Al-Harbi, Al-Khaibari puts it forward. Possession near halfway, that was too far away though from Musa Al-Juwaya. Number 36 tonight for the Al-Qadsiya midfielder. Sit in front of the back four tonight. Here he is in the centre circle. Al-Khaibari. Cano did the same job. Just trying to occupy the entirety of that Uruguayan back four at the moment in Saudi Arabia. Al-Juwaya, Al-Buraikan, Al-Sari and Mohamed Abu Al-Shamat all pushing forward as that's headed away by Matthias Vigne. Khaibari, pass too far away from the captain, Salim Al-Sari. 111. Quite some margin, most experience there in the squad tonight. Learning in midfield, 31-year-old with 78 caps as his vice captain. Celeste. Left to Oliveira. anticipation from Musa Ajaware. Content with just holding on to the ball when they do win it back, Saudi Arabia. Because Uruguay drop back into a defensive shape. Here's to come by a little for the Saudis. Appears to have kicked off a little bit later than advertised. It's been a feature of this tournament. A good portion of them have been at least 2.5 minutes beyond their build kick-off time. This one the same. In the 13th minute, but approaching 17 minutes past the point at which he was meant to start. Here's Al-Simra. Only halfway. Sultan Bakti. Bakti. Mr. Al-Amri. Stands on 4, looking for what I can. Pirouette, it's a nice turn from Saud Abdul Hamid. There was a foul there, but referee Maurizio Mariani disagrees. They're quite allowed to continue with Matteo Talavera against Sebastian Cáceres. Rivera. Muslera. Bit of time on the ball for the goalkeeper. Estudiantes. Birthday tomorrow, Fernando Muslera. Celebrating it with him. During this tournament. Goal scoring start by a fantastic run for fans of Cape Verde. Tears for Cape Verde hero Vozinha, the goalkeeper, who pulled off 7 saves to keep Spain at bay earlier on in Group H. His mother was unable to watch on from the stands in Atlanta. The cost of a visa was considered too expensive for her to make the trip, but watching her on back home and son certainly become a significant hero back home. That list of countries whose citizens have to post a returnable bond of up to $15,000 before travelling to the US on top of a fee for a visa. Vozinha has been Cape Verde's #1 for 13 years now, since he was 27 years old, and experience can't be gained. Somewhat of a feature of this tournament, lots of players continuing to play in what many would consider as their sell-by dates. Just to mention the amount of sports science and the conditioning of some of these professionals nowadays. Celeste. Ugarte. Oliveira. Outside. Araujo. He's struggled for minutes since Michael Carrick took over at Old Trafford. On the time on the bench. He's an important part of this Uruguayan side, though. He maintains that role under Marcelo Bielsa. Still has to handle for Araujo. It's neat and tidy. Broken up by Rodrigo Bentancur. Back to Fernandes now. He's been looking for Varela. Shot from a long way out. A long way wide. From Salam Balsari. He can be a danger from that sort of position, stepping in from that left-hand side onto his right. But had a little bit of space, but distance was always against him. Just linking up with Musab Ajawaya. It's been a slow start, you have to say that, for both sets of players. And, really conditions some pedestrian pace of the game thus far. Down the touchline there. It was Basari who was over the back there of Sebastian Cáceres wearing the mask. Broken nose that he suffered 3 years ago is a bit of a trademark of him. Football in Mexico. Saudi captain Uruguay already moving the ball amongst their back four. Rivera. Varela, Ugarte. Big debates about Fede Varela was the best to play him in this Uruguayan side at the moment. He's out on that right-hand side and he's been a bit isolated in the opening exchanges. Matías Viña eventually draws the foul. Saad Abdelhamid upended him initially. There was no foul in that moment, but as he prevented him from getting back to his feet, Maurizio Mariani has decided to blow the whistle. New set piece there on the corner flag on the left-hand side. To take the set piece, a left-footed delivery. Swings away from the goalkeeper towards the 6-yard line. It was met by Bentancur, who recycled the ball. Half shouts for a penalty there as it was prodded back across the face of goal, but the Saudis have escaped. And Salem Balsari, who obviously going out on the far side. Have a look, it was Sebastian Cáceres. Mariani was down by the side, and it certainly was by Hassan Tambati. Down behind the back, his back did strike him on the forearm, but good eyes from the Italian official. To scamper there, Fernando Muslera, but he couldn't get there in time to prevent the corner. There was a loose pass from Matías Viña. Uruguay certainly favourites on paper coming into the match, but they've yet to really show too much. Up to that pre-match billing. Now the Saudis have a corner. All of green striding forward. Likes of Hassan Tambati. Such a physical presence. Musab Ajawaya with the outswing high towards the back post. Strong header away. Oliveira. Free by Federico Viñas. Bravo. Celeste. Morella. Gata. The top right, Celeste on the right hand side. Two chasing after it. Sky blue. It's who picks it up. Goes up, I think. He's offside on Guillermo Morella. Disjointed the last games coming back in March. Two draws initially against Algeria and England. You might remember that, quite a physical, robust affair at Wembley. Referee blows the whistle. First of the two hydration breaks. They've been controversial, to say the least. And as the players gathered to the benches to escape this humidity, I have to say it's probably the first necessary hydration break that I've seen across this tournament so far. Temperature's still up in the 30s centigrade and 70% humidity in Miami. One who is pretty cool and calm and collected, Fernando Muslera. Actually the first Uruguay to feature in 5 separate major international tournaments. An incredible legacy, but really story. He became a goalkeeper completely by accident when he was 8 years old. Growing up in Montevideo, he's actually quite a prolific youth striker who loved scoring goals. One afternoon, as the story goes, his team's regular goalkeeper failed to turn up for a match. Muslera volunteered to fill in simply because he wanted to play, but he absolutely hated conceding goals. His mother famously recalls that whenever a goal went past him back then, he would openly burst into tears on the pitch, because he took it so personally. Over 3 decades later, those tears have turned into more than 100 caps and legendary status in the Uruguayan goal. It's also a good time to remind you that this is independent, studio-based, off-tube commentary. This global international tournament is available wherever you're listening to us from. Local TV networks. We do want to watch on and sync up our audio commentary to the live TV pitches. We'll take a chance to do that now. Managers have the opportunity to pass on some tactical instructions. The major criticisms of these hydration breaks have been that they break up the flow of the game. Well, this one doesn't really have much leading to it anyway, so perhaps we will see something slightly more exciting after the two sets of players return to the mid-pitch very shortly. Something more prolonged. Opportunity to take on some fluids here. Isn't being necessarily used to hydrate themselves, but to cool them down. Supporters are feeling the heat as well. Faces being fanned with hats and a few beverages being consumed in the stands. Uruguay back out there, ready to resume. Saudi Arabia not quite ready just as yet. Uruguayan supporters in fine voice already. Back out onto the pitch, Saudi Arabia. We will get started again very soon. So Mariani just pointing across to the football on the side of the pitch. We assume a free kick for offside. Taken by a goalkeeper now. Yes. Just dominating the pitch, bouncing the curls underneath, but not for us. Acrobatic clearance. bicycle driven away by Sebastian Caceres. Saudi Arabia. No touch in the Uruguayan box at this point, as we tick towards the half-an-hour mark. Clearance completed by Sebastian Caceres, flicked forward by Cano. There's Al-Jawaya. On the header and was caught by Al-Jawaya. That'll be a free kick on the edge of the Uruguayan box. Brave defending from Sebastian Caceres. The challenge was coming. There's his football for COMMUTE. Side towards Darwin Nunez. It's the one that's played. Araujo from Saud Abdelhamid, who made the challenge. Uruguay take the throw in. Ugarte comes into serve after Celeste. To Varela, decent touch round his man. But the cross picked up on the corner, six-yard box, scooped back towards the back post, towards Maxi Araujo. Across the face of goal, diving header, pushed away by the goalkeeper. Great chance for Fede Valverde. Quite the stop from Mohamed Alouays. Thought the chance had gone as Guillermo Varela spurned his opportunity to get in there. It was scooped towards the back post. Maxi Araujo kept it alive. And it's Fede Valverde. Actually, Federico Viñas, who was stooping there. He got his head to the ball. Alouays had to adjust and adjusted well. Was pulled back for a foul by Maxi Araujo. Talked to know that with the goalkeeper. Araujo goes down, caught by Saud Abdelhamid. All over for Fuji, the Lens right back. Valverde. Ugarte. They're chasing after it. Doing so, he's got him there on the left-hand side. It's clever defending actually from the left back. Just spread his body, made sure there was contact with Real Madrid man. Centre circle, Maxi Araujo. Ugarte. Varela, Valverde. To Caceres. Oliver. Caceres. To Muslera. Caceres has the luxury of just putting his foot on the ball. Really summed up the game so far. Muslera. outside towards Valverde. Nunes jumping with Lamley, who's done well. Goalkeeper by Harvey. Skips in away down in the middle of the pitch. Muslera took a chance. Juggled it under a bit of pressure. He left his goal unattended, and he did well. Years of experience. 16 of them as a Uruguayan international. Scamper the group in play. It's Viñas to keep the ball moving. Bentancur. Araujo. Viña. Viña. Araujo. Viña again. Still reluctant to get the ball into the mixer. Varela to Valverde. Links up with Ugarte, tries to poke it back to Valverde. There's Harvey with the interception now. Balsari. To be a bit too intricate there, and that's one back by Darwin Nunes. Bentancur. They're encouraged to shoot with the Uruguayan crowd. Viña towards the back post. Alois comes and punches. He was caught by Darwin Nunes. Referee will put it back for a foul. He stayed on his feet at the end, Mohamed Alois, and pulls Darwin Nunes back to his feet. A little pat on the back as well from the football Liverpool striker. Decisive, confident goalkeeping for the man with the number 21 on his back. It is a foul. See the two wearing a smile. Professional Alois. It's a clever turn just outside the centre circle by Moussa Al-Jawaya. There is Al-Jawaya. Oliveira. Abdul Hamid. Shamak. Hamid to return it to Kano. Never gets it away. Again, it's headed straight back to Saudi Arabia. Hamid will turn back to you now. Kano. Not so much. Kano. Just turn back to you. Balsari, just about enough to keep it moving, and here comes Al Harbi, weaving his way to the middle of the Uruguayan midfield, and he was caught by Valverde tracking back. A free kick from 35 yards in a central position. It was an eye-catching run from Otto Al Harbi, though. Places football for Al Hilal. Inzaghi in the Saudi Pro League, finished second in the league. Muslera done quite well that evening so far. Joel and Salim Al-Dawsari both standing over this one. Probably a bit too far to go for goal from this sort of range, but you can put it past them, you know. Other options as well. Converging on the edge of the penalty area. Just two in the wall. That hasn't been constructed. Here's Al-Jawad. Dicked in there towards the back post. Punched away by Muslera. Bounces out of play on the near side for a Saudi throw-in. Too much to do. Caceres. To him as that ball flew away. In fact, it's over the byline for a corner. The ball's in towards an Ippo. It drops into the penalty area. Muslera with a great save. It was Alhambri with the effort. Waiting for the net to bulge. Muslera stretching across to his left and just pushing over the crossbar. This time to the edge of the box. Al-Dawsari towards the back post. They're queuing up there. Across the face of goal. Just wouldn't quite drop for Al-Balekan. It was Tambati using his big frame. Well, they've watched and they're waiting. Saudi Arabia. And suddenly they've come alive here, recognising there's a chance. From a long way out, and that was going to switch wide from Al-Khabari. Interesting fact picture about here this evening. There's plenty of Uruguayan representation, significant portion of Saudi representation. You can also spot a couple of shirts of other South American countries, particularly there's good Colombians in this evening. And there's Alhambri missed that strike from the set piece. A few Colombian hands on heads. It's a bit of sharp avoid it. Al-Dawsari into the penalty area. Really good feet, Al-Dawsari. Central when they had options on the left-hand side. Celeste gets it away, but not far enough, and here they come again. Abdul Hamid. Shema. It's another corner for the Saudi Arabia side. Into the penalty area, another good header, and then the rebound is poked home by Abdullah Al-Amri. Saudi strike first. Just like 4 years ago, against a team clad in sky blue and white. Saudi Arabia make their mark on the global stage. It's a brilliant header by Tambati initially, hit with real power. Muslera spills it. And it's Abdullah Al-Amri who reacts first, gets a toe to it. And pokes it past Fernando Muslera. It's just his second goal for his national team. The Al Nassr defender. Scores for the first time since the 25th of March, 2021. There is real concern in the ground around the Uruguayan supporters. Not only do their team trail, there's an argument to say that they've been second best as well. well respond. Here's Araujo. Ravinha. Closed down by Saud Abdulhamid, who gets the referee's decision. And celebrates that with almost as much gusto as he did the goal. Abdulhamid on the right-hand side. Ravinha win the header. Abdulaikan. Passing ball. Here's Kano. He's lost his balance. Jalal Ugarte to slip it back to Muslera. Flashed forward. Flipped on towards Araujo. Federico Viñas, and a yellow card for the goal scorer, Abdel Al-Amri. Just caught him in the small of the back there. And then he catches Maxi Araujo. Abdel Al-Amri. Much in the thick of things over the past couple of minutes. What's the last minute of the 45 before added time? A set piece for Uruguay. Scant encouragement for La Celeste so far. Maybe that can change here just before the break. Maxi Araujo toward the back post. There's the header across the face of goal, but it's held on to by Alois. It was Federico Viñas. Looks the most likely for Uruguay. Shamat. Here comes Ugarte. Araujo. Left-hand side, Araujo slips past Saud Abdulhamid. And it was read by Abdullah Al-Amri. Gets in the way at the near post. Corner for Uruguay. 45 minutes gone. Araujo with the corner. It's flicked on its way by Nunes. Valverde on the far side tries to get it back in there. 4 minutes added on, says the fourth official. Into the box. Araujo! Keeper came out, spread himself. Well, the flag goes up. Again, top goalkeeping by Mohamed Alois. It did look like he was offside initially. We'll have a look at the replay. I don't know, actually. It's much tighter than at first thought. Brilliant from Mohamed Alois. Bentancur. Varela finds Valverde. Bit more energy now in Uruguay's attack. And a low ball from Fede Valverde took a deflection on the way through and ends up in the arms of Mohamed Alois. Hasn't had anywhere near enough of the ball for Valverde to affect the game, but when he does get going, you can see what a quality player he is. Kano. Saud Abdulhamid. Kano. Tumbaxi. Abdullah Al-Amri. Al-Shamad to Tambakti. On from Al-Amri down the right-hand side. This placement knocks away from Fias and Bareka. It's Muslera. Oliveira. Ugarte. Bentancur can turn in the centre circle. And to force it forward to Nunes or Valverde. Didn't reach either of them. Have a chance to go again here, Uruguay. There's Matthias Oliveira. Cáceres. Ugarte. Oliveira. Space in behind for Viña. Flag will stay down for the moment. But only for the moment. As the assistant referee on the far side eventually raises his flag. Good idea from Matthias Viña. It's a brilliant line though from Saudi Arabia. This should be that for the first half in Miami. Mohamed Alouais with a long clearance into Uruguayan territory, and Maurizio Mariani blows the whistle to bring to an end a first of 45 minutes that certainly has gone the way that Saudi Arabia had hoped for. It was a relatively pedestrian and tame opening 25, but the hydration break, as it has so often throughout this tournament, has changed the game. Where prior, sometimes the flow has been broken up and the rhythm has been upset. The message that came from Georgios Donis was that Uruguay look disjointed, they look a little bit underbaked. And from the restart, Saudi Arabia piled on the pressure, mostly from set pieces. In the end, it was Abdullah Al-Amri who poked home the rebound after Muslera pushed away a Hassan Tambakti header. Uruguay with a lot of work to do. This Group H is really shaping up to be one of shocks potentially after Spain and Cape Verde's 0-0 draw earlier today. Well, at half-time in Miami, another shock is on the card. Saudi Arabia lead. It's Saudi Arabia 1, Uruguay 0.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
Francés, sisplau. El Real Madrid, Higuaín, el nou Madrid, 102, Di Maria. reserves만 Oportunidad Adriano Amor Video sus líderes David Villa.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
Welcome back. Saudi Arabia lead Uruguay by a 1-0 in this Group H clash in Miami, and Uruguay have to change something, so they're going to change some personnel at the start of this second half. One of them is a headline change as well. Off goes Darwin Núñez. On comes Agustin Canobio of Fluminense in Brazil. And the left-back Matheus Vinha, the other to depart. I'm just trying to clear up who has come on to replace the River Plate defender. It's Sanabria Magole. So a change at left back. One Manuel Sanabria of Real Salt Lake. Two changes at the break by Marcelo Bielsa. Something has to give. Uruguay, a really poor first half, you have to say. Swap ends. And swapped a couple of players, Uruguay, so there's also a bit of a change in shape. Colombia out to that right-hand side. Valverde now playing more centrally. He is coming off the right-hand side. It's Muslera in goal. Sanabria now at left-back. Oliveira, Caceres and Varela, that line. There's a diving header. It came in from Varela. It was a really good effort from the new man. Canobio, just after half-time, drew another fantastic save from Mohamed Alouais. He's done really well, the Saudi goalkeeper. Now bursting through they go. Valverde just lost his footing, stumbling towards the 6-yard line. Saudi Arabia smuggling away. Well, Marcelo Bielsa has clearly got into his players at half-time, because they've come out with a renewed energy at the start of this second half. Better tempo from Uruguay. Canobio, another good ball. Vines with his back to goal. Varela tries to scoop it forward to Canobio. And flashing in front of the goalkeeper goes the goal scorer Abdullah Al-Amri. Well, we could round you through the rest of that Uruguay lineup. Maxi Araujo on the left-hand side, Bentancur, Ugarte. Now it's Canobio on the right. I think Valverde's just going to try and float around Federico Viñas. No changes at the break from Georgios Donis, the Saudi Arabia head coach. Saud Abdulhamid at right back. Mohamed Alouais, as we already mentioned, the goalkeeper. Abdullah Al-Amri is the man who has them leading. A toe poke after Muslera pushed away his centre-back colleague Hassan Tambakti's header. Moteb Al-Harbi at left-back. Al-Shamat on the right-hand side. Al-Dawsari, the captain, Al-Dawsari, I should say, who wins the throw-in inside Uruguayan territory. Kano and Kaibari, the two central midfielders. Firas Al-Baraikan and Musab Al-Jawair, the front two. One variable about this second half that we will have to keep a bit of an eye on is the weather. They already have hydration breaks at this tournament, which have caught headlines, a bit of controversy. Some people not particularly pleased in the first half, and actually seemed to work in Saudi Arabia's favour, as they had the opportunity to regroup, get some instructions from their manager, and come out at the restart with a renewed vigour. Here's Al-Dawsari. Can take it with him. Ugarte forward. Bentancur. Arojo. Let's it run. Sanabria, the half-time sub. Bentancur in the centre circle. Now finds Varela. Now Cannobio. The heat and humidity is one thing. That's why they stopped the game. On paper, at least. We can't do much about the overhead conditions, and apparently, according to the regulations of the tournament, and it's well known in sports in the United States of America, if lightning is detected within 8 miles of the stadium, they will pause the game for 30 minutes. As Cannobio cuts it back from the byline, that's poked behind by Al-Khaibari. And there is a little lightning in the air around South Florida at the moment. Got a corner here, Uruguay. Araujo standing over it on the near side. In-swinger driven towards the back post. There's the header and it's wide. From Viñas. Adamant there was a touch on the way out of play off a Saudi defender. He says handball, actually. Federico Viñas. He was jumping with Tambakti. He plays inconclusive. Goal kick has been taken by Mohamed Alouais, who's one of Saudi's stars this evening in Miami. Rodrigo Bentancur for Cannobio as the supporter Guillermo Varela. And Jassari in close attendance. Bentancur just took his eye off the ball. Bump in the back of Khabari as he moved the ball along, but it's won back by Ugarte. Sanabria into the penalty area. Viñas was stretching. It's over the crossbar, flag up anyway. There's Maxi Araujo as well, who was stretching. Mohamed Alouais slots the ball up for the free kick. Put away by Cáceres. And here's Bentancur. Sebastian Cáceres in the middle of the Uruguayan half of the pitch. Bentancur, which is Ugarte come back to collect it. Sanabria. Space down the left. Much more energy in Uruguay's approach here. Here's Valverde, edge of the penalty area, down the outside, Varela. And again, they've got bodies in the way, Saudi Arabia. Moteb Al-Harbi gets in the way of that one, and it's behind for a corner. Araujo again standing over the corner kick. With a decent header, and that's turned away by Al-Tambakti from the edge of the 6-yard box. And the follow-up attempt is gathered by Alouais. They've struggled with set pieces. Saudi Arabia might be Uruguay's best route to an equaliser. Martinez. Backing up on the edge of the penalty area. Keeping the ball well enough. Towards the back post. Oh, it was Canobio arriving, but just touched away by Al Harbi. Bentancur. Al Harbi's there again. We've just had an update from the organisers that the conditions locally are improving in terms of the weather. Being classed as a low-risk situation of a match interruption. Al Harbi, he was on the deck as he swept it away. His foot was left high. Like Canobio, and run into it. The Uruguayan substitutes. He was caught high on the thigh. But they'll stop the game. He just slips there. Al Harbi. Did get the ball away initially, but because the foot was left dangling in the air, that's where Agustin Canobio is taking a scrape to his thigh. And the assistant referee was right on top of it. Celeste. To Muslera. Oliveira. By Bentancur. Celeste. On the right hand side is Varela. It's in field to find Ugarte. He's dropping into a position between the two centre backs at the moment, the Manchester United man. Canobio. Deflection on the pass forward, but the right gun can still get on the end of it. Will be a throw-in. Ugarte. Valverde. Bentancur, central position. Varela's found all the space in this second half down that right hand. And it's another decent ball, and Canobio. Big ask for him to turn that on target from a tight angle in front of the near post. Almost an hour gone now. It's long from Alois, but Saudi Arabia is really struggling to get a foot on the ball in this second half. Change has really changed the approach for Uruguay. Agustin Canobbio injecting some real energy and drive, especially down this right-hand side, linking up with Varela. It's a lovely ball by Ugarte. Space for Sanabria down that left. Rivera. Here's Varela. Canobbio goes down in the penalty area and he's holding his boot up as evidence that he was fouled. Ugarte drives one onto the post from the edge of the box. Alois get a fingertip to it. Well, he's hurt himself as well. Inches away from levelling things up, Manuel Ugarte. Brilliant save. A brilliant save from Mohamed Alois. He stays down. The faintest of touches could well be just about enough to have kept that one out from Manuel Ugarte from the edge of the penalty area. Canobbio is still remonstrating with the officials as he puts his boot back on. One of the directives from the organisers of this tournament was to try and stamp out what are being referred to as tactical timeouts enforced by goalkeepers, and there are some jeers, some whistles, some boos from around the stadium for Mohamed Alois here, who I can only suggest that he is genuinely feeling something. It's tough conditions out there and he's had a busy evening. A sea of green flags in the stands. And the Saudi supporters Saudi's not preparing a change. It's not a replacement goalkeeper. It's going to be Nasser Al-Dawsari coming on. Stern word from the referee to Mohamed Alois. Looks like it'll be right to continue. He's going to replace Musab Al-Jawaya. Nasser Al-Dawsari. First change of the evening. This gets the goal kick into Uruguay's half of the pitch. Falcons finding touch. Sanabria, Rivera, Cáceres. Rivera, Ugarte, for Sanabria. Celeste. Canobio. So difficult to break down on the edge of their own penalty area here, Saudi Arabia. A real chance for a big scalp. Out is free. But I can try to do it himself, but he's lost a bit of steam as he crossed the halfway line. Tancourt was who won it back. Cáceres. Varela. Valverde. Tancourt. His ball, rather Oliveira, I should say. Driven against the Saudi Arabia defender on the edge of the penalty area. Uruguay with the throw. Oliveira. Sanabria scoops it in right-footed. Bakti with the header. And Saud Abdulhamid flashes it away, but there's no one there in green. So it's Rodrigo Bentancur. Valverde. Sanabria towards the edge of the box for Araujo. Araujo again. This time there won't be a foul. Mohamed Abu Al-Shamat is very frustrated with the referee decision. Defend another set piece here. It's on the left-hand side of the penalty area. 25 minutes left to play. There are a lot of questions about this tournament and the build-up, but the week is wide open. Valverde over the free kick, drives it in towards the near post, pushed away by Alois. Drops to Varela, that's charged out. New man Nasser Al-Dorsari getting in the way. The game with one half in this second half, Saudi's half. That's a misplaced ball though from Sebastian Cáceres. Maybe Saudi Arabia can get the ball forward. Chance for Carno. Catch that ball. Shalanta. Dorsari. Just bouncing around the centre circle. Nasser Al-Dorsari was grappling with Rodrigo Bentancur. Garte. Araujo. Bentancur. Here's Oliveira. Varela. Valverde. Lovely ball! Three in the box. None of them can get on the end of it. Maxi Araujo pounds the ground in frustration. He was the closest to it, throwing himself at the back post unmarked. It's out of play for a goal kick, and the referee blows the whistle to indicate the second and final hydration break of the game. Well, a totally different prospect now in this second half. Saudi Arabia in what you might refer to as the second quarter, just after that first hydration break, back in the first 45. Saw the chance to get at Uruguay, and they got their rewards with this slender lead that they enjoy. Got now into the 69th minute. But since the restart, the start of the second half, there's only been one team that's looked anywhere near scoring. They've been kept at bay by, might be a bit of an exaggeration, but we'll look back at it at full time to just see quite how important Mohamed El Oaisi's performance has been with the gloves on for Saudi Arabia. Save after save, something quite spectacular. Federico Viñas has had 5 of Uruguay's efforts. Ugarte has probably come the closest for Uruguay. Stinging drive from the edge of the penalty area, zipped across the surface. A fingertip to it from Mohamed El Oais. You can really see it from the naked eye, but the replay showed it's just done enough to divert it onto the post. As it stands, though, in a group featuring Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, who would finish this evening top of Group H. The change incoming from Uruguay. Teams in this tournament still yet to come. Yet to see France or England. Here comes that change, and it's Mohamed Ugarte. It's going to be replaced by Nicolas de la Cruz. Scored 3 goals in qualifying, including in that impressive home win against Brazil. Always making his way back to his 6-yard box to get the game restarted from the goal kick. Together near halfway. Calabio down again. Still another challenge with Mateb Al-Harbi. Bentancur. Varela. Calabio. Valverde picking his way through, forced wide. His comeback is against Al-Harbi for a corner kick. Looks like they've moved to a back 5, Saudi Arabia. They are dropping deeper and deeper, inviting Uruguay onto them, but as in towards the near post. Came off Firas Albaraikin and into the side netting. Valverde again, and this time it's on the edge of the 6-yard line. Cano again. Got his head on it. Sanabria, De La Cruz. And that's over everyone in the 18-yard box, now to play for a goal kick. From an own goal there, Firas Albaraikin. And Calabio coiled up and ready to unleash the volley just behind him. Fit that one on as well from the goal kick. It's been fouled as well there, Firas Albaraikin. check on him here. Physio required for Firas Alvaraikin. They've got the free kick just shy of the halfway line. Actually takes the free kick. Harvey will take the throw. Celeste. Doing his defensive duties. Cáceres gives it away. Al-Dawsari. Al-Dawsari. Salem Al-Dawsari. And unable to make the most of that decent position there, Saudi Arabia. Shamat with a foul in the centre circle. De La Cruz. Not wasting any time now, Uruguay, trying to get this ball forward and find that equaliser. Shamat across from Canobbio. Another testing one. Cáceres. Varela. Al-Dawsari. Missed clearance by Al-Harbi. Varela couldn't make the most of it, and now maybe a chance for Salem Al-Dawsari to... Cáceres under a bit of pressure, mopping up well though. Club America defender. Muslera keeps the ball moving. Bentancur. Nicolas De La Cruz. Valverde. Lofts it in there. Abdul Hamid sliced away by Al Shamat. It's Bentancur. Tries to squeeze it between the lines, too hot for Valverde. Goal kick for Saudi Arabia. Less than 13 minutes of the 90 remaining. Cleared by Alois. Bentancur beats Firas Alvaraikin to the ball. Matthias Oliveira now. Sanabria. Back to Cáceres. Guillermo Varela. Cáceres. De La Cruz. Canobbio. Varela. High ball. Too high towards the back post. Scampering after it goes Viñas. Keeps it moving. Sanabria left-footed into the penalty area. Canobbio was there. It's poked away by Al-Harbi. Decent touch by Firas Alvaraikin. Salem Al-Dawsari turned into the challenge. Altan Bakhti It's there in front of Cannobio. De La Cruz, edge of the penalty area. Thinks about the strike, takes it on. Put away by Nasser Al-Dawsari. Varela. Bentancur right of centre. Cannobio. Bentancur. De La Cruz. Swung in there. Viñas! Alois in the follow-up is hammered home by Max Araujo. Uruguay level in Miami. Maxi Araujo. Relief abounds around this ground. He's been superb tonight, Mohamed Alois. That one will sting. Intelligent finish from Maxi Araujo. Beats Alois at the near post, just guides it past him. And they've got time to win it as well, with 10 minutes left. In the wake of the goal, changes on both sides. Maxi Araujo, his last involvement was to get Uruguay back on level terms. He's been replaced by Ryan Rodriguez. Cannobio, right-hand side here. As Varela for support, will use the fullback. Cannobio. Back to Bentancur. Shot by Tyrus Oliveira from range. Deflected away for a corner. Ryan Rodriguez on for Maxi Araujo, just to confirm that change. De La Cruz standing over the corner. Header. It's over the crossbar from Sebastian Cáceres. Enough there, Mohamed Kano. Mohamed Abu Al-Shamat has also been replaced. It's Nawaf Bouchal who is on in his place. Rodriguez! The substitute. Fresh from the bench, flashes one past the far post. Varela bounces away from Al Harbi, but it's a loose pass forward. Zlatan Bakti. Nasser Al-Dawsari. Now Abdelillah Al-Amri. Sanabria's header is down to Matthias Oliveira. Sanabria, Oliveira. A bit of a cold attack there, did Matthias Oliveira. Cáceres, Varela forward. Canobia. That's Balaikon. Canobia goes sliding in. Concedes the throw in. 5 minutes to go. Fresh attendance just over 62,000. Nasser Al Dorsari, that's a high foot. Caught Rodrigo Bentancur. Right on top of it. Valverde. Rodriguez. Sanabria clips one in. Alois punches it clear with Federico Viñas lining one up. Varela. Canobio. Bounces across the 6-yard box. There's the pullback from Rodriguez. Bouchard will win the throw in. They just can't keep the ball at the moment, Saudi Arabia. Velas, Balaikon. There's Nasser Al Dorsari. Meccano. Thrown off by Salem Al Dorsari. Al Balaikon to the left-hand side. Al Harbi, little give and go. Al Harbi, there's the cutback. So back to Al Dorsari. It's a bit scrappy. Here's Kano from range. Body's in the way. Abdul Hamid over the crossbar. And suddenly they're causing problems, Saudi Arabia. Not too far over the bar. Muslera had it covered. Still have designs on winning this though, the Saudis. It's Canobio. It's on this right-hand side for Uruguay. Varela into a central position. Rodriguez. Left-hand side, Sanabria deflected behind. Off Nawaf Bouchard. Side is given there against one Sanabria. Quite a night already, hasn't it? It's independently produced, studio-based commentary you're tuning in tonight. The opportunity to watch along with your national broadcaster. Thank you for listening as well. Tight cagey at times, a tactical chess match. The kind of clash that only this global tournament can serve up. As well, temperatures touching off 30 degrees, the humidity only 70 percentages. So no surprise that substitutes the likes of Agustin Canobio and Sanabria have really made the difference. Here's Canobio. Nicolas de la Cruz. Bentancur. Sanabria. Now Rodriguez shifted onto his right. Viñas was ready to try and sweep that home. He's caught Altan Bakhti in the process. It was Salamri in the way, in front of him. Rodriguez, defended by Cano, headed down on the edge of the box by De La Cruz. Now Valverde back to De La Cruz, central area, 35 yards away from the target. Sanabria hoisted in there left-footed towards the back post. Up goes Oliveira, punched away by Alois with Caceres challenging. Scooped out towards this left-hand side by the Saudi defence. Salem Al-Dawsari is there. Federico Viñas is going to trot off. On will come Rodrigo Aguirre. It's for Tigres. We call him El Buffalo. He was featured back in March against England at Wembley. The 90 minutes to find out how much more is going to be added on. It's Caceres. There'll be 7 minutes additional time. Still plenty of time for a winner. Maybe even for either side, as Salem Al-Dawsari gets forward down the left-hand side. Trying to poke it through to Ferras, Veraiken, Brian Rodriguez. Sanabria pulled back. De La Cruz pushed away by Alois again. Canobio couldn't bundle it home on the follow-up. Instead, it's away by Al-Harbi towards Aguirre. Buffalo can't get on the end of it. Again, scooped clear by Nasser Al-Dawsari. Guillermo Varela. De La Cruz, Varela towards the back post, and a chance is taken by Saad Abdul Hamid, who tucks it behind for a corner kick. Brian Rodriguez will take it. There are 3 Saudi changes coming. Changes before the corner as well. Might be a risky move. Saad Abdul Hamid's number is up. He's going to be replaced by Ali bin Mohammed bin Ali Lajami. Off 2 goes Al-Harbi. On comes Abdullah Al-Hamdan. And Firas Al-Baraikin be replaced by Ala Al-Haji. An offensive midfield player. Rodriguez, edge of the box, Valverde, lines one up, drives it low! Alois again, low down to his left. With a really important hand to turn it round the post. Scooted across the surface from Fede Valverde, and it's scooped out from the bottom corner by Mohamed Alois. De La Cruz over the set piece. The header is wide at the near post by Sebastian Caceres. Just a little bit behind him. From Marcelo Bielsa in response to that Mohamed Alois save. He was the man of the match 4 years ago in that famous win against Argentina. Canobio, Nasser Al-Dawsari, one back by Bentancur. Rodriguez down the left. Sanabria down the touchline. Wins the throw-in, level with the edge of the penalty area. It's in by one, Sanabria. Bentancur moves it on to Cáceres. Agustín Cannobio. De la Cruz. Cáceres. De la Cruz. Bentancur. Valverde. Varela. Valverde can turn. Drives one into the penalty area. Lifted out to Cannobio. De la Cruz. Valverde. Big deflection off Hassan Amtalbakti. A corner yet again. Rodriguez over the set piece. The in-swinger. Varela goes for goal. It's charged down by Alhamdan. Advantage for Uruguay. Rodriguez. Bentancur. Varela. Cáceres. Challenged by Najami. Varela. Cáceres. Bentancur. Sanabria. Rodriguez from a long way out and shuffled round the post by Alois. Eight saves now from Mohamed Alois, Valverde, De La Cruz, and another one turned behind. Well, the stretching figure of Abdullah Al-Amri. Short to De La Cruz, goes to the corner. Rodriguez, Sanabria, back to Rodriguez. Towards the back post, scooped away again by Cano. Varela gets it back in. Rodriguez trying to find space in the box. Valverde on the overlap. And a play for a throw-in. Now we're on into added time, Cáceres, Cannobio, right-hand side, all being played in the final third. In by Cáceres. Altan away. De La Cruz. Valverde on the corner. Sanabria. It's off Ali bin Mohammed bin Ali Al-Laijami. Another corner. Saudi Arabia players pointing to the clock. And still we go on. Maurizio Mariani waits for Brian Rodriguez to loop it in. The in-swinger. Up goes Cano. On the follow-up on the edge of the box goes Cáceres. And there is the full-time whistle for Maurizio Mariani. Group H opens with a pair of draws. The first goalless between Spain and Cape Verde. The second, a bit of an escape for Uruguay. Saudi Arabia led at half-time through Abdullah Al-Amri. They had a spurt of energy in that second half of that first half. But it all changed for Uruguay after half-time. A bit more energy, a bit more thrust, and the substitutes seemed to inject a bit of pace into the way they went about things. Almost the entirety of that second half was played in the Saudi Arabia half, and even the attacking third. But Mohamed Alois with more saves than we've seen from any other goalkeeper at this tournament so far. Ensured that he was only beaten just the once. A save pushed into the path of Maxi Araujo, who tucked it home and beat him at the near.